Babes, it is Sunday morning. We've got our iced coffees on deck. The condensation is just aggressively dripping onto this weird hotel nightstand. And we are still here for you.
Barely here, but we are here.
Barely. I am looking at you from across this very chaotic, very haunted hotel room, and I just have to say the vibe right now is immaculate, but also completely feral.
Oh, we are feral. We are operating on, like, zero sleep and pure spite.
Literally. We're currently in Salem, Massachusetts, still enjoying our little mini vacation. We fly back home tomorrow, so we are just soaking up every last single second of the chaos, the vibes, and just this absolutely unhinged, spooky energy that is lingering in the air right now.
It is aggressively spooky.
Yeah.
But happy Sunday, Snark Squad. And honestly, by the time most of you actually hear this, it'll probably be Friday anyway, so happy whatever day you're currently surviving. We love you.
Happy whatever day.
Because I am looking at my wildly sweating iced coffee right now, and I can confirm that the hangover from last night is real, it is very present, and it is holding my prefrontal cortex hostage.
It really is.
But, you know, we have a duty to the mess. And the mess never sleeps.
It truly never does. And honestly, before we even get into the mountain of gossip today, because we have so much to unpack, we decided we are giving you your weekly horoscope.
Oh, God, here we go.
No, listen, babes, we've been in Salem for 3 days, and clearly we are now fully initiated witches. The vibes have completely penetrated my soul. I am an oracle now.
Oh, absolutely. We bought, like, a singular overpriced piece of rose quartz at a gift shop on Essex Street that probably came from a wholesale warehouse in New Jersey, so we are now fully credentialed astrologers.
Yeah.
Please, lay these highly scientific predictions on the squad.
Okay, listen to me. If you are an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius Carton, my fire signs, my chaotic babes who thrive in the mess, your toxic ex, is absolutely going to text you up by Tuesday at 11:30 p.m. I am warning you right now.
Tuesday is always the danger zone.
It is. Do not engage. Do not type out a paragraph. Lean into the main character energy, read it from your lock screen, and leave them on delivered. You are way too expensive for their discount bin energy right now.
See, the astrological logic there is actually flawless because fire signs are physiologically incapable of ignoring a red flag.
True.
It's like a moth to a very toxic gaslit flame. And for my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, expect surprise money this week.
Ooh, we love surprise money.
Wait, before you start adding leather jackets to your Zara cart, I need to clarify the reality of this windfall. It is just a $2 Venmo refund for that oat milk latte you bought your coworker back in 2022 because they finally cleared their requests.
I am screaming, not the 2022 oat milk latte.
But still, we take those wins. Also, massive workplace drama is looming for you on Thursday.
Yeah.
Keep your head down, keep your AirPods in, and just pretend you are deeply invested in a spreadsheet.
That is so accurate. Okay, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Babes, you're going to spiral over an Instagram story that has absolutely nothing to do with you.
Standard Tuesday for Pisces, really.
Exactly. You will screenshot it, send it to the group chat, and write a full collegiate-level thesis statement on why this girl from high school who sells essential oils is passive-aggressively attacking your lifestyle choices.
Which she isn't.
She isn't. But you need the emotional stimulation, so we fully support the delusion.
And finally, air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You are going to accidentally double-tap a photo from 2016 on the grid of your current partner's ex.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just throw the whole phone in the ocean at that point. Flee the country, move to a new city, legally change your name. It's honestly the only logical, dignified response to that level of digital humiliation.
I am dead. Babes, take those horoscopes to the bank.
But seriously, before we dive into the absolute mountain of reality TV garbage we have to sort through today, we have to talk about this trip.
We do. We need to decompress.
We need to do a quick roses and thorns of Salem, because my emotional baseline is currently hovering somewhere between a Victorian ghost and a caffeinated squirrel. You want to go first? I'll go first. My absolute rose of the trip, without question, was meeting a Snark Squad member out in the wild.
Oh my God, yes.
We went to dinner, we did the ghost tour with them, and it was just, the vibe was incredible because, you know, you never really know what you're going to get when you meet people from the internet.
It's a gamble.
It is. Sometimes it's awkward, sometimes it feels forced, but they fully understood the assignment. We were standing in the pitch black in some haunted cobblestone alleyway where actual historical atrocities occurred.
Literally in a graveyard.
Right. And instead of looking for spectral orbs or whatever, we were literally whispering about Bravo casting rumors and whether or not production is hiding footage. It was perfection.
It was so iconic. I loved every second of it. Okay, my rose, and I need you all to not judge me for being completely clinically delusional for a second, was getting recognized in public at that coffee shop yesterday morning.
Oh, I've never seen someone activate so quickly.
Babes, the emotional high I rode for those 30 seconds, I felt A-list famous. I felt like Angelina Jolie dodging paparazzi in 2005.
You really did.
The barista looked at me, looked at my credit card, paused, and was like, wait, are you guys... And my soul simply left my physical body.
It was a psychological study watching you react to that. I watched your posture completely change. You immediately stood up straighter.
Yeah.
You found your light. You angled your jawline.
I had to hit my angles.
You were ready to sign an autograph on a napkin right there by the half-and-half carafes. The immediate pivot into celebrity mode was breathtaking to witness.
I was so ready. I was ready to do a full meet and greet, take selfies, hold someone's baby. I was so activated. But my other rose is definitely the food and just the overall spooky atmosphere here.
Oh, the aesthetic is amazing.
The cobblestones, the witchy shops, the aggressive autumn energy, even though we're basically heading into summer. The whole town just feels like a movie set.
Yeah.
But, okay, we need a thorn. What was your thorn?
The travel exhaustion, hands down.
Yeah.
And this lingering, deep-seated hangover that is currently making my skull vibrate at a very uncomfortable frequency.
Yeah, that wine last night was a choice.
Plus, honestly, the emotional damage of being perceived by ghosts.
Yeah.
I know that sounds ridiculous, but I was walking through that cemetery yesterday, and I could just feel some 17th century Puritan judging my outfit. It was very taxing on my nervous system.
The ghosts were definitely judging us. They were looking at our matching sweatpants like, what has become of this colony?
Exactly.
And speaking of poor choices, babes, I have a late-night snack confession to make to the Snark Squad. I need to get this off my chest.
Oh, God. Put it on the record. Let the people know how we truly live.
So we got back to the hotel last night. We are exhausted. We are emotionally compromised from the ghosts and the walking. And what do? I shout out Uber Eats for coming through because I found myself sitting cross-legged on this hotel bed, drinking extremely cheap, acidic red wine out of a bathroom plastic cup.
A plastic cup wrapped in that weird crinkly plastic.
Yes. And aggressively housing a double cheeseburger from Five Guys.
It was a chaotic pairing, a true sommelier's nightmare.
It was so bad, but so good.
Cheap red wine that tastes like a headache, paired with the greasy paper bag full of Cajun fries that have saturated the paper so much it's basically translucent. We were actively debating health versus absolute, unadulterated happiness at 1 a.m. and happiness violently won.
It was so fucking good. I have zero regrets. The grease, the tannins, it was a culinary masterpiece in my mind.
Well, the heartburn this morning says otherwise.
Okay, fair. But babes, we need to get into the gossip because while we were eating burgers in bed, there's always mess. The reality TV universe was absolutely imploding this weekend.
Where do we even start? It feels like every single franchise decided to act out simultaneously. The group chats are literally on fire.
We have to start with the Bravo Housewives hurricane. Let's pack our bags and head to Beverly Hills because Teddi Mellencamp versus Dorit and PK Kemsley is spiraling completely out of control.
Oh, it is a mess.
And it is bringing up some deeply uncomfortable questions about the mechanics of reality television.
Okay, let's unpack the architecture of this specific feud. Because there are layers. So the facts are, PK did an interview where he boldly claimed that the show created fake scenarios.
The audacity.
Which, let's just pause right there and acknowledge the staggering hypocrisy. PK crying about fake storylines is the most ironic thing I have ever heard, considering the man's entire life and financial portfolio function like a poorly written storyline.
Literally. The grift is always grifting with him.
He has built an entire persona on smoke, mirrors, and rented luxury vehicles, and now he wants to pull back the curtain and talk about authenticity, please.
The lack of self-awareness is astounding.
Yeah.
So Teddi and Tamara get on their podcast, and they call absolute BS on him. Tamara says she wants to call BS, and Teddi actually says she would have punched her own husband in the face if he had gone to the press and said that about her show.
I mean, I kind of agree with Teddi there. You don't bite the hand that feeds your mortgage.
Exactly. And then Teddi starts listing out all these iconic Beverly Hills moments and aggressively asking if they were fake. She brings up the home burglary. She brings up Dorit hugging Mauricio after the robbery.
Which we have to acknowledge is such a calculated low blow.
Oh, it's so shady.
Bringing Mauricio into the Dorit drama, especially considering the relentless rumors about Dorit and Mauricio's bizarrely close dynamic, is a very specific type of weaponized shade. Teddi knows exactly what she is insinuating there.
Oh, she didn't stop there. Teddi is pulling out the literal blueprints. She asks if the Bupa di Beppo room design was created by production.
Not the Capri room.
The Capri room. She asked if the non-alcoholic champagne storyline was created, if the Beverly Beach line or the wedding dress line were just fake businesses created for camera time. She went straight for the jugular.
She was pulling the receipts and essentially exposing the foundational mechanics of a housewife season. Of course, Dorit could not just sit there in her silence.
No, she had to type out a response.
She clapped back online, responding to a fan who was defending her. Dora was basically like, it's disappointing because she knows the truth and chose to say it anyway, and she defended her group hug with Mauricio as just an, quote, innocent moment shared among close family friends after a deeply traumatic event.
But then, babes, I am unwell over what happened next. Teddi gets back on her podcast, totally revved up, and she completely weaponizes her hospital stay.
This is where it gets dark.
She blasts Dorit, saying that out of all her ex-friends, Dorit is the only one who didn't visit her in the hospital during her cancer battle. She says, "Why is she playing a victim now when it comes to me?" I'm spiraling over this tactic. I have to push back here and ask you, is it fair to use a hospital visit for a severe medical issue as the ultimate friendship litmus test to win a reality TV feud? Or is Teddi just looking for a reason to go completely low?
That is the exact question we need to be asking, because what's fascinating here is the absolute deflection. It is a masterclass in the Housewives pivot.
Oh, totally.
Look at the sequence of events. Teddi is getting heat for making shady, highly speculative comments about Dorit's marriage and the Mauricio hug. She knows she is crossing a line into defamation territory with that. So to get the heat off herself and reframe the narrative, she throws down the ultimate PR trump card: you didn't visit me when I had cancer.
It's bulletproof. How do you argue with that? You literally can't.
Exactly, you can't. It is emotionally manipulative, but from a strategic perspective, it's brilliant. She forces Dorit to defend herself against the accusation of being a heartless monster who ignores cancer patients, which completely distracts from the fact that Teddi just accused Dorit of faking her entire life on television.
It's wild.
Teddi is demanding grace for her illness, while simultaneously affording Dorit zero grace for a home invasion. But wait, we haven't even mentioned the most chaotic, unhinged part of this entire digital exchange.
Boy George.
Yes. Boy George literally jumps into the Instagram comments of Teddi's podcast account and just types, "Shut up."
I was screaming. My phone buzzed. I looked at the screenshot and my jaw dropped. Boy George randomly entering the chat like a chaotic, drunk uncle at Thanksgiving who just wants everyone to stop arguing.
It is so perfectly, absurdly Beverly Hills.
The fact that an 80s pop icon is fighting in the Instagram comments of an accountability coach's podcast over a reality TV feud is the peak of our culture. But looking at the comments on the reality blogs about this, people are not on Teddi's side at all.
No, they see right through it.
The audience sees right through the PR strategy. Like, one commenter named Star literally wrote, "What a pathetic loser Teddi is to even focus on Dorit's non-visit. You were right there with your bestie Kyle when LVP said she was away burying her brother, and Kyle had zero empathy."
And that right there is why the Bravo audience is the smartest demographic on the internet. They have long memories, and they understand the precedent.
They bring the receipts.
Always. Another commenter, Helen Wheels 68, made a really valid sociological point. They said that when you're in the hospital, looking and feeling like death, the last thing you want is a glamorous housewife parading into your room in full glam.
Right. Like, I don't want Dorit in a full head-to-toe Fendi logo look staring at my IV bag.
A phone call or flowers is sufficient. Teddi just wants a reason to be mad, because Teddi, without a grievance, has absolutely nothing to talk about. She needs the conflict to keep her podcast views up.
That's the real truth. It's an attention economy, and outrage is the currency. But honestly, Teddi manipulating a storyline isn't even the messiest or darkest thing happening in Beverly Hills adjacent circles right now. We need to talk about the money queen, Amanda Francis.
Yes. The woo-woo grifter who somehow manifested her way onto national television via her connection to the Housewives. This is a dark, dark rabbit hole that exposes the entire underbelly of the influencer manifestation complex.
Babes, I was gasping reading the reports on this. So Amanda is facing immense catastrophic backlash right now.
As she should be.
Fans and former customers are coming out of the woodwork complaining that they spent thousands of dollars on her online courses and got absolutely zero results. They didn't manifest millions. They didn't cure their anxiety. One woman named Jessica, a 45-year-old nurse, literally said she spent six figures.
Good God.
She put $40,000 on credit cards and took $40,000 out of her retirement savings for this woman's vision board nonsense.
Let's dissect the absolute grift of this because it is deeply predatory. She runs a law attraction business, which is essentially just repackaging early 1900s New Thought philosophy, and 2006 is The Secret.
Oh, my mom loved The Secret.
Everyone's mom did. But she's wrapping it in a millennial pink and gold font and selling it as proprietary knowledge. She targets vulnerable women who are desperate for a change, whether financial, emotional, or romantic, promises them they can manifest a beachfront mansion through energy alignment, and then drains their 401ks so she can live in a Barbie dream house in Malibu.
It is so dark. It's giving MLM mixed with a cult.
It is the prosperity gospel for the Instagram age.
Jenna, another customer, spent $2,000 and ended up $10,000 in debt trying to keep up with the courses, saying, I funded her lifestyle for no reason. And how does Amanda respond to these devastating claims? She literally blames the victims.
Of course she does. Narcissist Handbook, page 1.
She says, I can't stop them, but that's never been my advice to go into debt. She claims 95% of her buyers are happy and that she offers a value exchange. But babes, I have to push back here and ask you, if you drain your 401k for a digital vision board course, at what point is the scam on you? I mean, an $80,000 debt for an online class? Where is the personal accountability?
It raises an incredibly important question about personal accountability versus predatory marketing, and I'm glad you pushed back on that. Yes, objectively, spending your retirement on a course that tells you to brainwash yourself into believing in yourself is a catastrophically terrible financial decision. The lack of financial literacy is alarming.
It's just wild to me. 80 grand.
However, we cannot ignore the psychological mechanisms at play here. Amanda knows exactly what she's doing. She went to Oral Roberts University, which is a deeply conservative religious institution.
Wait, she went to Oral Roberts?
Yes. She understands the mechanics of faith-based devotion. She ran away from a restrictive environment and then seemingly realized how lucrative cult dynamics can be when applied to modern feminism and capitalism.
That explains so much. It's literally the exact same structure as a megachurch asking for seed money, just rebranded with iced lattes and Chanel bags.
Precisely. She is selling hope to desperate people. And her response to the backlash is the most audacious, sociopathic part of this entire saga. She isn't apologizing. She isn't issuing refunds. She is literally leaning into the hate by selling a $37 iced coffee glass on her website that says, Scam Artist Plus Cult Leader.
The absolute audacity. Profiting off being called a cult leader by selling overpriced merch to the exact same people calling you a cult leader is sickening, but also you kind of have to marvel at the sheer shamelessness of it.
It's capitalistic brilliance devoid of ethics. She has weaponized her own cancellation. If we look at the comments from the blogs on this, the audience is seeing right through the pink font. Someone named Unreal Housewife 57 pointed out, she basically taught them how to set up their own woo-woo business to scam others. Pyramid comes to mind.
It's just an MLM.
It is essentially an MLM where the product is just the idea of wealth. And another commenter, Love Snark, hit the nail on the head regarding the psychology. People who enroll in these programs are usually looking for a quick fix. Amanda preys on people like that.
It makes my stomach hurt. It's like a casino where the chips are your own self-worth. Give me some good Bravo news before I completely lose faith in humanity. Let's talk about casting.
Well, we do have a triumphant return in Potomac. Andy Cohen officially confirmed on the Watch What Happens Live after show that Real Housewives of Potomac Season 11 is currently filming, and the Grand Dame herself, Karen Huger, is officially back.
Praise be. Babes, I am actually emotional over the Grand Dame's return. After the DUI, the mugshot, the jail time, and that deeply uncomfortable, hyper-rehearsed emotional speech at BravoCon, we needed her back.
She is the anchor.
She is. The show is structurally hollow without Karen holding court. She is the center of gravity in Potomac.
Her delusion is the load-bearing pillar of that franchise. But what's truly hilarious, and speaks volumes about the Bravo economy, is that Robin Dixon is shockingly back as a friend of the cast.
Wait, I thought she left. I thought she gave this whole big speech about focusing on her GLO 30 business and her podcast.
Oh, please. Robin literally cannot stay away from the cameras. She stepped away, did a stint on Peacock's The Traders, pretended she was moving on to bigger and better entrepreneurial pursuits, and yet the second production call with a day rate contract, She came running right back to be a background player.
She sprinted back.
It perfectly illustrates the gravitational pull of reality TV fame. You cannot replicate that kind of exposure or that paycheck in the civilian world.
I mean, let's be real. Juan isn't exactly bringing home the bacon right now with his coaching career in shambles, so somebody has to pay the mortgage. She needs the check.
Someone has to buy the basketballs.
Exactly. But speaking of marriages that are basically business arrangements built on a foundation of absolute delusion, let's check in on New Jersey. Teresa Giudice and Louis Ruelas.
A seamless transition from Amanda's cult to Teresa's marriage. Both require an astonishing level of cognitive dissonance. What are the latest update from the love bubble?
Oh, the bubble is still bubbling, allegedly. So Teresa posted this incredibly gushing, over-the-top tribute for Louis' birthday. She threw him a massive party at their house with a Ferrari-themed cake and another blue and white cake, and all the kids were there taking perfectly posed photos.
Very normal.
So normal. She wrote this massive paragraph about his strength and heart, and she used a Puerto Rico hashtag, which feels like a tease for some upcoming business venture or real estate purchase. And then, as if that wasn't enough, Lou hosted for his own mom's birthday, and Teresa was in the comments acting like the perfect, doting daughter-in-law.
It's all very performative. Loving you is the easiest and most powerful thing I've ever done. Please?
Yeah.
Let's analyze the PR deflection happening here. Why are they posting Ferrari cakes when they're drowning in lawsuits?
Because it's a smokescreen. It's the classic strategy of look over here at my shiny life so you don't look at my legal filings.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to ask,
Yeah.
how long can this honeymoon phase actually last under this kind of pressure? They are coming up on their second anniversary this August. Every single post, every single extravagant cake feels like they're desperately trying to convince the audience and, more importantly, themselves that everything is perfect.
It's exhausting just watching it.
With all the legal investigations, the private investigator rumors, and the financial turmoil constantly swirling around Louis, this constant projection of marital bliss is exhausting. It's like watching someone smile through gritted teeth while their house burns down behind them.
It really is. It's like they're shouting, look at the Ferrari cake, don't look at the court dockets. It's a hostage situation wrapped in fondant.
Fondant and red flags.
Okay, we need to leave the Housewives behind and move over to the absolute crossfire that is happening between Vanderpump Rules, The Valley, and Summer House, because the Bravo extended universe is giving us sheer whiplash right now.
Let's start with the ultimate parasite of reality television. The man who single-handedly resurrected the Bravo ratings, Tom Sandoval.
I just dry heaved. Let me take a sip of this iced coffee to wash the taste of his name out of my mouth.
I know, brace yourself.
Yeah.
So Tom Schwartz recently went on Watch What Happens Live and confidently predicted that Sandoval and his 24-year-old girlfriend, Victoria Lee Robinson, will go the distance. He literally sat in the clubhouse and said, "They're locked and loaded without a doubt. I hear wedding bells."
Babes, I am unwell. The thought of Tom Sandoval in a white tuxedo with his little mustache, his platform shoes, and his weirdly manicured nails, standing at an altar, my skin is physically crawling. He literally told TMZ in an airport that they just hit their 2-year anniversary and will probably get engaged.
What's truly fascinating here isn't Sandoval's delusion. It's Schwartz's pathological codependency. Let's break down the psychology of Tom Schwartz. He has unwavering loyalty to a man who has repeatedly ruined his life, tanked his reputation, and nearly bankrupted their shared businesses.
He loses everything for this man.
Schwartz went on a podcast last year and laid the groundwork, saying Tom was madly in love, and now he's confirming to Entertainment Tonight that they are cool again, and Sandoval is fully supporting him being on the Valley.
But wait, I have to challenge this. Is it actually codependency, or is Schwartz just entirely too lazy to find a new primary relationship? Like, is it a trauma bond or just a severe lack of ambition?
That's a brilliant distinction. It's likely a combination of both. Schwartz operates as a beta male in that dynamic. He needs Sandoval to create the chaos so Schwartz can play the lovable, bewildered golden retriever cleaning up the mess. Without Sandoval's villainy, Schwartz has no identity.
He just wanders around making drinks and looking confused.
Exactly. Schwartz will co-sign literally any delusion Sandoval comes up with, because to reject Sandoval is to reject the only structural framework his life has ever known. It is a deeply dark, symbiotic relationship.
It really is. They are tethered together for eternity. And meanwhile, while Sandoval is plotting his fake redemption wedding to secure season 12 storylines, Ariana Madix is actually experiencing some real healing off camera. Her brother, Jeremy Madix, confirmed they have finally reconciled after being estranged for over 2 years.
I am genuinely surprised by this, but also happy for them. Estrangement is brutal. What was the catalyst that brought them back together?
So, their mom broke her femur, which is a major injury. She was feeling emotional, vulnerable, and alone in rehabilitation. So, Jeremy and Ariana put their issues aside to rally around her, and through that shared crisis, they've organically grown closer. But here's the juicy, messy part that ties back to the show.
There's always a tie back.
Always. Jeremy went on a podcast and basically shaded Shiana Shea. He said the feud with Ariana started because he was going through some personal stuff, but Shiana publicly referred to him as problematic.
Oh, Shiana, the ultimate opportunist.
Right. Jeremy said he and Shiana used to be like family, so when she called him problematic, it raised a massive red flag. He realized Shiana was probably just using him to hurt Ariana. He said she pulled him close during their feud just to add salt to Ariana's wounds.
I am cackling. Shiana somehow always catches strays, but if we analyze her behavioral patterns, she absolutely deserves them. Shiana possesses a psychological need to center herself in other people's trauma.
She cannot stand not being the main character.
Remember, this is the woman who made Katie's divorce about how she wasn't getting enough attention from Schwartz. She tracks everyone's location on her phone like an NSA agent. Of course she would weaponize Ariana's estranged brother to gain leverage in a feud and secure her spot as the loyal friend to whoever is currently giving her the most screen time.
Exactly. Looking at the comments on the reality blogs about this user, Nanu said, of course Chiffle had something to do with it. If she can't get attention by trying to start rumors of putting people together, she'll get it by tearing them apart. Seems like it is starting to backfire against her.
I mean, the snark squad in the comment sections do not hold back. They see the producing tactics.
The audience is hyper-literate in reality TV tropes.
But speaking of people who stir the pot for a living and understand the assignment, we need to talk about Janet Caperna on The Valley. She went on Watch What Happens Live and basically chose violence against the entire cast.
Janet is giving me everything I need right now. She is the villain we didn't know we needed. She was asked about Michelle Saniei's romance with Dr. Dre, which, by the way, I still cannot structurally process in my brain.
It's the most random, Mad Libs, reality TV crossover in history. It makes zero sense.
Janet literally said it was not on her bingo card, and she found out when the rest of the world did. But then she slammed Jesse's new girlfriend, Lacey. Apparently, Lacey showed up to filming events for season 2, but demanded to production that she be blurred out.
Which is the most ridiculous, fourth wall breaking thing I have ever heard.
Oh.
I have to praise Janet here for truly understanding the architecture of reality TV villainy. Janet pointed out the sheer absurdity of Lacey walking onto a set filled with Bravo cameras, boom mics, and producers. Just ask for a blur. Why are you at a filming event if you don't want to be on camera?
It's giving, I want the perks, but not the accountability.
Exactly. Janet speculated it was because Lacey finally got divorced and wanted the proximity to fame without the immediate commitment of signing a release form. It's an attempt to manufacture mystique.
Drag her, Janet. She also gave this weird half-apology to Nia Bucco, saying she was sorry for making her postpartum struggles harder, and then claimed she wants to reconcile with Kristen Doubt at the upcoming reunion.
But notice the tactic. She didn't just apologize. She threw a dagger on the way out. She shaded Nia, saying Nia claims she wants to ignore Janet, but seems to talk about me a lot when I'm not around. Janet is a sniper from the side. She understands that to secure a Season 3 contract, you have to keep the conflict simmering.
She's playing chess.
If we look at the comments on Janet's segment, the audience absolutely loathes her, which ironically means she's doing a fantastic job. A commenter named Aspasia wrote, Janet is a pretentious person. She feels what she says is right and true, and everyone else better fall in line. Another named Claire Malone said, a fan who got on the show and really thought being extra would make her the star.
Ooh. Calling a cast member a fan is the ultimate devastating insult in the Bravo universe. It implies you don't belong in the inner circle. But honestly, Janet is carrying the narrative momentum on that show.
Okay, we need to pivot to Summer House because the West Wilson, Amanda Batula, and Ciara Miller love triangle is getting so messy I literally need a mop.
Let's lay out the facts and analyze the PR strategy here. We know Amanda and Wes confirmed their romance back in March with that extremely polished, clearly publicist-written joint statement. They talked about how their connection grew out of a long-standing friendship and they needed space to process it privately.
Sure, yeah.
Which is hilarious considering their entire livelihood is predicated on processing their lives publicly on a reality show.
Right. It was so contrived. But the streets, and by the streets I mean Twitter, Reddit, and Raya, are saying West is already back on his absolute bullshit.
Multiple sources are confirming that West has been active on the exclusive dating app Raya, with brand new photos that he just posted on his Instagram within the last month or two. Someone on X tweeted, "Streets are saying West was on Raya yesterday liking someone's profile." Oh, Mandy.
It is the ultimate predictable Bravo fuckboy trajectory. I am mapping the architecture of it right now. Look at the pattern. West comes on the show as this goofy, lovable guy with the mustache, the dad bod, and the Midwestern charm. He plays the aw shucks card perfectly.
He really did fool us all for a minute.
He realizes he's suddenly on television, the DMs start flooding in, and the minor fame completely rots his brain. He treats Ciara terribly, strings her along for an entire summer, gaslights her at the reunion, and refuses to commit. Then, the moment Kyle and Amanda divorce, he immediately pivots to her best friend Amanda because she's newly single, vulnerable, and guarantees him maximum screen time.
And now he's bored.
And now, a month after taking it public, he's back on Raya, looking for the next dopamine hit.
I presented this exact analogy to a friend the other day. West is basically the guy at the frat party who spent 3 years being ignored, suddenly realizes the hot girls actually like him, and he completely loses his mind and his morals. He doesn't know how to handle the attention. Let me ask you, is Amanda just the next shiny object for him? Is this purely strategic for the show?
Absolutely. Amanda is a conquest that provides him with maximum narrative leverage. By dating the ex-wife of the show's patriarch, he centers himself in the primary storyline. But let's shift the focus to Amanda's diabolical behavior in all of this, because she is not an innocent victim getting swept off her feet. She is an active, calculated participant.
Babes, I was screaming at my phone when I saw the digital forensics on this. So Reddit users who honestly should work for the FBI went back and dug up an Instagram post Amanda made on March 4th. It was a seemingly innocent photo dump, and one of the photos was a screenshot of her phone's lock screen showing the time. But on that lock screen, you can clearly see notifications from Ciara Miller, a TikTok DM, and an Instagram DM, literally sitting there unread.
And we have to analyze why she posted that. Amanda willfully posted proof of herself actively ignoring Ciara. She took a screenshot, reviewed the image, saw Ciara's name, and chose to put it on her grid for the world to see, right around the exact time she was secretly getting serious with West.
It is so sinister. A Reddit user commented, "To post this months later after secretly getting serious with West is diabolical." Another person said, "It's like she wants to show everyone, meaning West, how cool she is that Ciara was waiting for her to reply. It makes her look like a shitty person with no regard for others." Do you think this was premeditated digital warfare?
Without a doubt, it is deeply mean girl behavior masked as aesthetic nonchalance. Digital footprints of the new confessional interviews. By posting that, she is signaling to West, "Look, I prioritize you over my best friend. She's chasing me and I am ignoring her." It's a power play. And Ciara, who usually takes the high road, is finally reacting to the disrespect.
Yes. A fan account posted a video clip of Cassie Howard from Euphoria. You know, the iconic unhinged scene where she's screaming, "I didn't fuck your boyfriend. You two were broken up for 3 weeks. I have never, ever been happier." And the caption said, "Amanda at the summer house reunion, am I right?" And Ciara actually commented on the video. She didn't write a paragraph. She just put "I" with the side-eye emojis.
Which confirms everything we suspect about the dynamic. Amanda went into that reunion trying to play the victim, trying to spin this narrative that she and West just organically fell in love. And she didn't betray Ciara because Ciara and West were never official.
Such a cop-out.
It is pure Cassie Howard energy. You can all judge me if you want, but I do not care.
Yeah.
The betrayal is profound because it undermines years of female friendship for a guy who is currently swiping on Raya.
I am so ready for this reunion to air. The tension is going to be thick enough to choke on. Okay, take a deep breath, take a sip of coffee, because we are moving out of the Bravo clubhouse and into the deeply dark, unregulated world of reality, real estate, and finances.
Let's do it. Where are we starting the descent?
We're starting with a literal medical nightmare that exposes the dark side of the glow-up. Do you remember Earl, the Pearl Thompson from Love Hotel, and his dating stint with Shannon Beador on Real Housewives of Orange County?
Vaguely. The man with the very intense energy and the penchant for dramatic entrances.
Well, he did an exclusive interview with Reality Blurb, and he opened up about this horrifying weight loss journey he's been on. Basically, he gained 40 pounds before going on the show because a physical therapist came to his house after he had knee replacement surgery, and the PT literally cranked his knee so hard that he dislodged the lower implant from Earl's bone.
Okay, medically speaking, that is grounds for a massive multi-million-dollar malpractice lawsuit.
Right. It gets worse. His knee capsule filled with blood, he grew thick scar tissue, and he had to have a secondary surgery to get the tissue peeled off like an orange.
Visceral. Disgusting.
So he was stuck on the couch, depressed, gained 40 pounds, and then went on Love Hotel. When he saw himself on TV, he was shocked and embarrassed by his weight. The camera adds 10 pounds, but the psychological weight of seeing yourself scrutinized by millions is heavier. So he decided to take matters into his own hands with GLP-1 medications.
And this is where the story shifts from a surgical nightmare into a deeply bleak sociological commentary on reality stars buying designer weight loss chemicals off the internet. Let's analyze the post-Ozempic dystopia we're currently living in.
Exactly. He started on Ozempic, but said it was too expensive, so he switched to a generic semaglutide, but plateaued. Then he went to tirzepatide. He kept going on and off it, dealing with intense nausea. And then, instead of consulting a doctor, a friend told him about an experimental triple antagonist called retatrutide.
Which sounds like a chemical compound a Marvel villain would inject into a henchman to mutate them. It is not approved for general use.
Babes, it completely destroyed his system. It killed his appetite entirely. He was nauseous for days after injecting it. He lost so much weight so fast that when he went to a nurse practitioner for a checkup, she was visibly shocked by his appearance. He had lost 10 pounds of muscle mass, was getting severe headaches, felt dizzy and off balance, and she told him he was literally malnourished. She had to urgently order him to eat 2,000 calories and get 200 grams of protein a day because his organs were essentially preparing to shut down.
This is the terrifying reality of the pressure cooker that is reality television. People are so desperate to look a certain way on camera to avoid the wrath of Twitter trolls that they are playing mad scientists with unregulated experimental peptides they hear about from friends at dinner parties.
It's so scary.
And the most alarming part, he explicitly stated he's not concerned that it isn't FDA approved. Your nurse is telling you that you are medically malnourished and losing vital muscle mass, and your takeaway is, well, my waist went from a 40 to a 34, so I feel more confident. It is body dysmorphia fueled by unregulated pharmaceuticals.
It is incredibly bleak. A commenter on the article named Lady Dalen wrote, "I don't trust any medicine that makes you nauseous all the time. I've known people on it and they're miserable. I think in the long run they're dangerous." It's a genuine horror story, masked as a triumphant glow-up. But speaking of horror stories masked as reality, let's head to Atlanta. We have to discuss the perpetual disaster that is Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann.
The gift that keeps on giving. And by giving, I mean traumatizing the public and the court system. The sheer volume of legal documents these two generate is staggering.
The custody war has escalated to nuclear DEFCON 1 levels. Kroy filed an emergency motion, and a judge actually awarded Kroy temporary primary physical custody of their 4 minor children. Kim only has limited parenting time every other weekend, and Kroy gets final say on education, medical, and religious decisions.
Let's unpack the legal mechanics of this because judges do not grant emergency custody modifications lightly. The burden of proof for an emergency change is incredibly high. What specific evidence did Kroy present to the court to get this granted?
Kroy went to the court and claimed that Kim is more selfishly concerned with her own image and her work options than her kids. He accused her of outright neglect, saying she travels constantly, leaves the kids with whoever is available, and stated she is unstable and unfit.
Okay, let's analyze Kim's PR strategy in response to this devastating legal blow. Because instead of laying low and consulting her attorney, she immediately took to Instagram stories to fire back. Instagram is her preferred venue for litigating family court matters.
She literally posted a statement. She called the headlines inaccurate and misleading. She claims that Kroy only got this temporary order because he specifically, strategically filed an emergency motion to get a senior judge assigned to the case because their previously assigned judge kept denying his requests. She says she is a single mother and the sole provider for her 6 kids and that she works tirelessly to make sure they have food and necessities.
The linguistic gymnastics she is performing here are astonishing. The delusion of calling herself a single mother when she is literally still living under the exact same roof in that crumbling, foreclosed McMansion with her husband is staggering. She's not a single mother. She's a cohabitating combatant in a war of attrition.
Right. They're still in the same house.
And calling herself the sole provider. Last time I checked the public records, they were both getting sued by Target, Saks Fifth Avenue, BMW, and seemingly every casino in the Bahamas. Neither of them is providing anything but debt.
She said, "To say that I neglected my children because I went out of the country to work and provide for them is absurd." But then she reposted a friend praising her, and the friend wrote, "Just wait until the videos come out. She's done her best to protect her kids throughout this process."
Ah, yes. The classic PR thread of the videos, the phantom evidence.
I have a serious question for you, and I need you to evaluate this from a crisis management perspective. If she actually had shocking videos of Croy proving he was the villain and she was the victim, wouldn't she have leaked them to TMZ 3 financial crises ago to win the court of public opinion?
Absolutely. 100%. If Kim Zolciak had smoking gun footage of Croy Bierman, it would have been heavily watermarked and on the front page of the Daily Mail by sunrise. It is a bluff. It is pure deflection. It's a tactic to make her followers think there is a deeper conspiracy against her.
It's just smoke and mirrors.
Also, commenter Rana pointed out that the narrative simply does not align with reality. She lies in this statement, claiming that she is providing for her adult daughters. She wants to evoke sympathy as a single mom when Croy is the actual single parent in the day-to-day home. I hope the judge tells her to prove that she is contributing by paying child support.
Exactly. We all know Croy is the one actually making the pizza rolls, driving them to school, and maintaining whatever semblance of normalcy exists in that house, while Kim is off in Colombia filming some surreal villain reality show or hawking skincare on Instagram. The fact that she is fighting a custody battle via Instagram fonts while her house is literally collapsing in on itself financially, babes, I am screaming into the void. It's not even entertaining anymore, it's just sad.
It's tragic. The real victims here are those children who are watching their parents destroy each other publicly for engagement metrics.
Speaking of children who are going to need massive, unprecedented amounts of therapy when they learn how to use Google, let's transition into the MTV and TLC mess. We have to start with Teen Mom's Kale Lowry, and I need you to emotionally prepare yourself for the quotes I'm about to read because they are jarring.
I am bracing. Lay the sociological nightmare on me.
Kale went on her Coffee Convos podcast, and they were talking about what their younger selves would think of their lives now. Kale has 7 kids with 4 different men. Joe Rivera, Javi Mariquin, Chris Lopez, and Elijah Scott. She proceeds to literally compare the fathers of her children to dogs.
Wait, what, like metaphorically?
No, babes, literally.
Yeah.
She says, and I quote, "If you think about it, none of my baby daddies have breeding qualities people look for. When you think about dogs, you pick the dogs with the best qualities, right? Or with animals in general, it's survival of the fittest."
I cannot believe she said that into a microphone.
She then complains that she bred with men who were shorter than her, saying, "If you're trying to raise a Division I sports baby, what the fuck was I doing breeding with men that are shorter than me?"
I am mentally calculating the future therapy bills for these 7 children right now, and the calculator has spontaneously combusted. This is eugenics-adjacent language casually being thrown around on a parenting podcast.
Babes, my jaw was completely on the floor. She finished this thought by saying she was desperate for attention and to be loved, so she had babies with short dudes, and that nobody should have sought me out to breed, nobody should have procreated with me.
She is treating human reproduction like she is entering the Westminster Kennel Club dog show. Let's analyze the mechanics of why she is saying this. The MTV paycheck is not what it used to be. The reality TV model has shifted to the audio space. To maintain her lifestyle, Kale needs podcast downloads. And in the podcast economy, chaotic, controversial sound bites equal engagement.
So it's just clickbait.
Partially, yes.
Yeah.
But what is truly horrifying here is the complete lack of self-awareness regarding how her children will feel hearing this digital footprint. She isn't just insulting the 4 men she chose to sleep with. She's actively insulting half the DNA of her 7 children. She's telling them their genetics are subpar.
The comments on the Ashley's reality roundup were vicious, and honestly, for once, the internet mob was entirely right. Someone named Sasha wrote, "Kale talking like that about her baby daddies is essentially saying that her kids don't have good qualities either. That's a really fucked up thing to say." Mrs. Greenway said, "Her BDs should be ashamed that they'd breed with a selfish female who has no regard for the safety and well-being of their children. A good mother does not shit-talk the other half of her children's DNA."
It's pure narcissism masked as self-deprecation. She throws in the "nobody should have procreated with me" line so she can pretend she's dragging herself and being relatable. But the real calculated point of the segment was to publicly call her exes short, genetically inferior, and unfit for breeding D1 athletes. It is a power trip.
It is so dark, it's monetization of familial trauma. But the questionable parenting choices do not stop there in the MTV universe. We have to talk about Corey Wharton and Taylor Selfridge.
Corey Wharton, the man who treats commitment like a severe peanut allergy.
Exactly. So their 3-year-old daughter, Maya, who was born with a rare heart disease, recently had a horrific health scare. She was life-flighted and hospitalized for 18 days. It is genuinely terrifying, and thank God she is okay and recovering.
Yeah, that is actually awful.
But Corey got on Snapchat and claimed that this traumatic event is what brought him and Taylor back together after their recent split. He literally credited their reconciliation to trauma bonding. He said, when you go through trauma, it's just the trauma bonding, it happens.
Okay, stop the tape. As the resident logical analyst of this operation, I am mercilessly roasting Corey for this. This is the absolute bastardization of therapy speak. He entirely misunderstands the psychological definition of trauma bonding. He thinks it means bonding over a shared traumatic event, like surviving a car crash together.
Right. Ashley even had to put a literal medical disclaimer in the article explaining what the term actually means. I want to push back, though. Do you think he is maliciously misusing the term to justify stringing her along, or is he just genuinely uneducated on the vocabulary?
Ignorance is not an excuse when you have millions of followers and are monetizing your personal life. A trauma bond is a specific psychological connection that forms in an abusive relationship, where the victim forms a deep cyclical attachment to the person causing them harm through a cycle of abuse and positive reinforcement. It is Stockholm Syndrome adjacent.
Wow.
It is not, my daughter went to the hospital and my girlfriend and I cried together in the waiting room and now we're back together. By misusing that term, he trivializes actual abuse.
He is so embarrassing. He went on to say that they had to get offline to figure their stuff out and that they've been together basically 8 years, adding, that's a long time. And yet, after 8 years, 2 kids, multiple reality shows, and a terrifying medical crisis, Taylor is still waiting for a proposal.
It is the ultimate sunk cost fallacy. Commenter Kell summed it up perfectly. Why do people waste time waiting on someone for years who has none of the same values in life? And Gemma wrote, marry the girl like she has made clear she wants or let her go. It is profoundly humiliating to string a woman along for nearly a decade, watch her mother your critically ill child, and still just casually hop on Snapchat and be like, yeah, we're trauma bonded and working on it offline.
I am so exhausted for Taylor. Just stand up, babes. Stand up and walk away. Okay, let's look at another Teen Mom update. Catelyn Lowell and Kiefer Delp.
What a chaotic combination of names to hear in 2026.
Right. So Caitlyn went on her podcast and announced that she finally has a quote-unquote real job. She's working with youth, getting out of the house, having adult conversations away from the cameras. She says it makes her heart happy to do something normal.
Good for her. Honestly, it's about time one of them entered the civilian workforce and experienced life without a producer asking them how they feel every 5 minutes.
But wait, she immediately followed it up by saying Teen Mom is not canceled and that she and Tyler are filming a new MTV spinoff in a few weeks. They're leaving Michigan to record it. So the real job was basically just a temporary hobby between filming cycles to feel normal.
Of course it was. The cycle of MTV dependency is unbreakable. None of them will ever fully leave the MTV ecosystem until it dries up completely and the cameras physically stop rolling. And I'm sure the spinoff will be some manufactured crisis about their pre-foreclosure or Tyler writing more terrible, angsty poetry about his childhood.
Oh, please spare us the poetry. I cannot take another slam poetry session in that octagonal house. But the wilder news is about Kiefer Delp, Janelle Evans' infamous green hoodie-wearing ex-boyfriend. Babes, Daddy Delp is officially a father of 2. He welcomed a baby girl named Stormy. He posted on X, well, sometimes things work out. This is Stormy. She's my second daughter. I am crushing it. I am blessed.
I cannot believe we live in a timeline where Kiefer Delp is thriving.
I am weirdly, genuinely proud of him. He got out of jail in 2024, got sober, and he's been posting about how fatherhood completely changed his life trajectory. He even posted this really raw, authentic message on Facebook telling people to stay clean, saying, drugs will ease the pain for 5 seconds and bring you years of misery. No matter how fucked over you think you have been, stay clean.
That is genuinely profound coming from the man who used to make smoking pipes out of apples in the passenger seat of Janelle's car while evading the police. I appreciate the growth. It shows that people can actually break the cycle.
But babes, I am terrified for him because Janelle recently gave an interview to The Sun where she named Kiefer as the one man from her past she would reconnect with if he had his life together and was stable.
Oh, no. No. Keep her chaotic gravity away from him. He has 2 years of hard-won sobriety and a baby named Stormy. He does not need the swamp monster circling back to ruin his peace, drag him into a paparazzi feud with Farrah Abraham, and pull him back into the MTV vortex.
That would be the ultimate tragedy. Kiefer, if you are listening to this, block her number. Change your name. Move to Canada. Okay, we need a palate cleanser from the MTV darkness. We actually have a moment of pure, unadulterated joy from 90 Day Fiancé.
A rare occurrence in the TLC universe. Take it.
Avery Mills and Omar Albacore from Before the 90 Days Season 3. They officially welcomed a baby girl named Roya Rose.
Oh, I actually love them. They are one of the very few couples from that franchise that felt like a genuine, authentic love story and not an immigration grift or a televised midlife crisis.
Me too. I swooned over the TikTok she posted detailing the birth. She said while Omar was touching her stomach, the baby literally kicked him so hard from the inside that it broke Avery's water. And Avery said she only had to push for 20 minutes. But the best, most iconic part is she said the epidural sent her to another planet, and she literally sat there watching 90 Day Fiancé on the hospital TV while she was in active labor.
Now, that is what I call medal-level reality TV dedication.
Yeah.
You are crowning, you are high on an epidural, and you are critiquing Big Ed's terrible life choices on a hospital monitor. I respect the hustle. It's like Inception for reality fans.
It is the happiest ending. They went from meeting on a Muslim dating app, getting married in Lebanon during a tumultuous time, living in Dubai, Omar finally getting his U.S. citizenship after years of waiting, and now a beautiful baby. We love to see a functional outcome.
It's a nice palate cleanser, but I feel like you are about to drag us right back into the absolute mud.
Oh, babes, I am grabbing you by the ankles and pulling us deep into the Hulu Mormon wives meltdown. Because the TikTok girlies are actively fighting, the fourth wall is completely shattered, and the mechanics of reality TV production are fully exposed.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives drama is honestly outperforming the actual show at this point. It's fascinating. Walk me through the leaked audio.
Okay, so leaked audio just dropped of Jesse Draper talking to Taylor Frankie Paul's ex-boyfriend Dakota Mortensen back in March. In the audio, Jesse is spilling everything. She explicitly says that production and management were gaslighting the fuck out of us to paint Taylor as a victim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said the entire cast was uneasy about publicly supporting Taylor because they all knew the dark truth about the domestic violence incident where Taylor attacked Dakota.
Oh, the violent incident that caused Taylor's alleged Bachelorette season to get canceled before it even started.
Exactly. Jesse says in the audio that production is actively trying to spin the narrative in the editing bay to protect Taylor because Taylor is the star of the show. And Jesse tells Dakota that she thinks the rest of the cast needs to see the videos of the attack to understand the context of what they're being asked to defend. Well, Dakota saw this audio leak on TikTok, and he hit the comments section to absolutely blast Jesse.
What did he say? How did he weaponize it?
He called her a massive opportunist. He wrote, "You literally was begging me to show her and the girls the videos. You straight up cried when you watched the videos. You act like I had this all planned. Yes, I planned being attacked 2 nights in a row and the cops being called." He accused Jesse of a crazy switch-up, acting like a loyal friend to Taylor on camera now to secure her spot on the show, but previously wanting to expose her behind the scenes.
It's a fascinating, deeply cynical look behind the curtain of reality television production. What Jesse is describing in that leaked audio is the fundamental, ugly truth of the genre production. Always protects their star player. Taylor is the lightning rod of that show.
She gets the clicks.
She brings the controversy, the TikTok views, and the headlines. Even when the rest of the cast knows the dark, potentially criminal truth of her behavior, production will gaslight the ensemble to preserve the lucrative narrative arc. They need Taylor to be the sympathetic anti-hero, not the abuser.
But then Taylor enters the chat. Taylor replies to Dakota's comment and actually defends Jesse. She says, guess what? Jesse already told me the truth, including her part. Sorry, boys. All you've done is shown what she is saying is true. I am completely activated by this. It's so messy. But I have to ask you, at what point does the reality show stop being a reality show and just become a highly paid PR protection program for toxic influencers?
That's exactly what it is now. We have to understand that the cast of Secret Lives aren't housewives in the traditional sense. They are a prepackaged TikTok content house that Hulu essentially purchased. They understand PR, they understand algorithms, and they understand that aligning with the villain/victim hybrid is the only way to ensure a Season 5 renewal.
It's all about the renewal.
Jesse crying over the domestic violence videos in private, but then filming with Taylor anyway and defending her in the comments is just survival of the fittest in the modern influencer economy. Morality does not exist here. Only metrics exist.
It is exhausting. Between Taylor manipulating the narrative, Sandoval trying to fake a redemption wedding, Amanda Batula posting literal receipts of ignoring her best friend, and Teddi Mellencamp weaponizing a hospital stay, my nervous system is completely fried. I am looking at my empty iced coffee cup. The ice is completely melted. There is literally a rogue Five Guys French fry on my nightstand from last night, and I think I need to heavily sage myself before we go to the airport tomorrow.
We need a full exorcism, honestly. Not just from the Salem ghost that followed us from the cemetery, but from the spiritual weight of analyzing Corey Wharton's deeply flawed definition of trauma bonding.
Truly. Babes, the mini vacation in Salem is officially over. We are packing up the mics. We are heading home tomorrow, but do not panic. We will absolutely be back to our regular scheduled chaos next week from the comfort of our own couches. The gossip never stops.
Thank you to the Snark Squad for hanging out with us, for supporting us, and for sending in all those wild messages and hot takes. You guys are the smartest audience on the internet, and you are the reason we do this.
Yes. Please remind yourselves to like, subscribe, comment, and seriously share this gossip with your messiest friend. They need to hear the truth about Amanda Francis's vision boards before they max out their credit cards.
Before we go, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to chew on. With shows like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in the Valley, we are seeing a massive tectonic shift in entertainment. The real visceral drama isn't happening on Bravo or Hulu anymore. It's happening entirely off camera, on TikTok, in leaked audio, and in Instagram comments months before the season even premieres.
It's so true. The show is just the recap at this point.
It makes you wonder, are we currently watching the slow, undeniable death of traditional reality TV editing? Think about it. When the audience already knows the truth from Reddit months before the premiere, and the cast is actively circumventing the producers to tell their own stories online, how does the genre survive?
Oof, that is heavy. I'm going to be spiraling over the death of the Bravo edit on the entire flight home. All right, babes, stay spooky, stay caffeinated, and we'll see you on the snark side.